Angels, this is the weekly reading for the period of the 11th through the 17th. I'm recording early again. I don't know, maybe because of 9/11. I am a 9/11 survivor, like I said, so I won't necessarily be around this weekend. As a matter of fact, I definitely have something to do on 9/11, and maybe for the rest of the weekend too, like potentially romantic dinner. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no. Shower. Maybe I'll let somebody shower me with attention. Maybe I won't. Or you could have like a baby shower, a wedding shower, or something that you are considering going to or that you plan to attend. I'm on top. This could also be about celebrations and recognition and sort of elevating and ascension. We have no also and cocktail. So maybe to go along with the dinner. Spirit says foreplay. Eat cake. Could be celebrating. Again, congratulations if you are, or happy birthday, or whatever's appropriate, or sometimes just like cake, maybe after the drinks and the dinner, we decide to get dessert as well. And this could be taken many, many ways. We also have outside. Dirty movie. And yes, dirty movie, remember, can be things like exchanging pictures, like send me a picture, whatever, or exchanging videos, like funny stuff like, oh, here, look at this TikTok or whatever, a reel. Or it could be something like on the news or online dating, sharing information like that. Yeah, so it could be something, more like it's like across your state or national or even global, like if something happens in the world or that makes the headlines, that can also be a dirty movie. With the this romantic oracle, we are starting with, I love talking to you. I feel that I can tell you anything without being judged. So somebody who feels really comfortable around you, maybe making a return to your life. Mercury Retrograde also will be in effect. It starts in 2 days. It starts on the 9th. I'm recording this reading on the 7th. I'm not going to spend much time shuffling in the interest of saving time. But I know you guys like me to do it in front of you, and I like to do it in front of you. So we're going to do that. All right, no further messages from here for now. Twinflame Oracle, beginning with soulmate, feminine, fear. So this could be literally about the feminine falling into fear, or the masculine trying to move forward toward the feminine, but him being in fear. We got darkness, hesitation, insecurity. Know that you're protected. Feminine, we have your divine feminine, or you are seeking her twin or soulmate. And then here is the soulmate. It's a period of transformation. Scorpio energy. Soulmate card stood up. Somebody's in regret, maybe because they didn't move forward sooner, or they didn't welcome the other person back when they did try to move forward. We have union in reverse behind this regret. So regretting not being in union. I was feeling it before I saw the card. Remorse, life regrets, loss. Start making more empowered choices. So there could be a second time around. That would also be like Scorpio energy. We just saw transformation. So like, for example, Major Arcana card Judgment is about like second chances and something coming back around to you, potentially. The World can be about that as well, although with the World, it comes around a lot slower, I think. In any case, somebody could be getting another opportunity to make things right. And while feeling regretful that they didn't do the right thing the first time, that may motivate them to do it this time if they can move beyond their ego and maybe forgive or seek forgiveness. Pride, jealousy, self-preservation, walls. Let your guard down. Now here we have a nice little story. We got the King of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. These can be two different energies. Maybe a very romantic one, maybe a very secure and stable one. And both from your past with the Six of Cups, you know, people from your past involving Mercury retrograde brings those kind of people in. Well, this could be one person, and maybe because of both of these energies are heavy in their chart, or, you know, maybe like a King of Pentacles, perhaps, like we're in Virgo season, so maybe like a Virgo just feeling particularly romantic, and that's what's going to take you out to romantic dinner and cocktails. Again, I'm not going to shuffle much. Behind this, we have the Seven of Swords. So this person, if they approach you this week, possibly, of course, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone like into those traits or attributes. But if they come toward you, maybe in the past, they were somebody that you couldn't trust all that much. They were a liar, or they kept a lot of stuff to themselves. So maybe like lies by omission, not that they necessarily set out to maliciously not tell you the truth or to be open with you, but if they kept everything in, there was information that you didn't have that you needed, and now they are more emotionally available and stable and ready to perhaps share those things, and they may have manifested you back into their lives very much on purpose, very intentionally, and that reuniting, that reunion could be cause for, between the two of you, cause for celebration. He also could be inviting you someplace. Again, maybe, perhaps romantic dinner. Maybe because you are soulmate, or, you know, it's twin flame. This is with the Two of Wands. This is the twin flame or soulmate card of the tarot. It's also a card of planning and having faith that the thing is going to work out. I just mentioned the energy of Virgo. Here we have the Hermit behind this card of faith. That I was just talking about. So the Hermit is also somebody that's very spiritual, and maybe for that reason he's having faith. Maybe he's developed a faith in himself. But even if he's been focused on himself, he's also been watching you. He has his lantern here. He's been illuminating things and keeping an eye out and peeking in on you as well, and maybe on what he's planning to see if there's anything developing with the plan that he's come forward. He's, again, in the past probably kept stuff to himself. You may have no idea that he's planning something for you. You could be in separation. The High Priestess could indicate that you've been apart, right? Or this is somebody who's been reserved. This is somebody who's been to themselves. This Hermit, this potential Virgo or King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone behaving in that way, very, open about their emotions or in control of their emotions. That person may be, if it's not actual physical distance between you, could be emotional distance, or again, just not sharing all the information. The High Priestess is somebody who doesn't share all the information either. She too is somebody who is a planner. And we got these two twos. Twos are often about relationships. Or this is kind of like 11. So she could be planning also, or trying to figure out like what she may want to do, make a decision, and then plan. And all that stuff she's going to keep to herself too. So whether this is you, whether this is the King of Cups, it's the King of Pentacles, there's something being worked on. There's something being worked on, but this Hermit person also has his eyes on, other aspects, other things that are going on, including perhaps watching you, maybe online. We end up with another Six of Cups. I could read it in reverse as it came up, or just turn it around. We'll see. It doesn't matter. I'm kind of like, whatever this week. If it's, well, I was going to go into what it means if it's in reverse, but maybe I'll say that for later. So I said another Six of Cups because, again, we have a Six of Cups atop this deck. And somebody could have taken a break from you, or you could be recently, thinking back, meditating on something that you experienced in the past that may have been hurtful, maybe it involved a loss or separation. Yeah, there we go. You're over it now. Right now we're to the Four of Swords. And it looks like we're about to be beyond the Four of Swords too. Maybe thinking back. This could be you, of course. Queen of Swords. We got the Devil here. We got the Ace of Swords. And we got like another Gemini, potentially, or water energy. Female, strong female here. So the King of Swords, the King of Swords, the Queen of Swords obviously is somebody who, you know, cuts out any BS and foolishness in her life. That could be this, or, you know, she could be dealing with a Capricorn too, or Capricorn energy. That could be another reason. This also can be about her independence, and this signifies like codependency is what I'm getting from it, like, you know, chained together. So like even in a relationship, I think the message is, and it's going to be wish fulfillment. We could be trying again, a new start, victory, like we made it. I got plans for you and they're going to come to pass and we're going to be together and all that kind of stuff if it's about a relationship. But there's a message here that it cannot be a codependent relationship. Okay? And that doesn't mean that we can't be in a monogamous relationship. It can be a relationship between only two people. But this idea of like, there's going to be, you know, each of us really should be, there's another Two of Wands also. Each of us should really, you know, feel confident and secure in the relationship, that we don't have to feel like we actually are in ownership of the other person, right? Like a slavery situation, which is what it looked like when we saw a moment ago, those people chained to the energy of the devil. Nobody should feel like that in a relationship. And I've been getting a lot of these like messages, I guess downloads, some people call them, that Hermit's back. In our relationships, with the Wheel of Fortune behind him, so he's destined for something. This, again, more relationship energy, just headed toward a relationship that he may have pulled back from, maybe to do some, you know, introspection and thinking and planning and what do I want, making a decision, what do I want. But again, keeping an eye, a watchful eye on him or her or they, you know, whatever his interest is, all the while, and I may be ready to show himself. There is sort of like an ascension here from this 9 to this 10, you know, and the Wheel of Fortune is what you know, it's divine timing. So it's like God, the universe said, okay, come on out, Hermit, it's time. This is also representative of luck, winning, fortune, and for what we're destined, those things that we're destined for. So it looks again a relationship here, or some type of offer, emotional offer that's going to be pleasing with the Knight of Cups, and maybe, you know, having previously experienced this sort of feeling of being stuck, trapped, codependent, as I was talking about, and being freed of all those things. Yeah, so I've been having these like downloads and stuff about, even if we want to be in a monogamous relationship, you know, so only two people in the relationship, as opposed to, you know, maybe being poly or maybe having an open relationship or other things like that, there is still room to have maybe a non-traditional relationship, because as we continue to ascend and our vibrations increase, I mean, that's what this is all about. And that's what even these unions are about. They're about ascension, you know, for the higher good, reaching our highest potential, you know, our highest purpose, and being able to achieve whatever that is. So in order to do that, there has to be an element of sort of freedom, right? Even for people who are in a couple. Like, you don't achieve that by, you know, sitting with your spouse in the house, you know, for the next 50 years. That's not how you achieve greatness. So we're going to, again, there's an offer. You know, we're going to have to figure out how we can, another offer, maybe an apology. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that. So again, maybe celebration. Was I talking about the King of Pentacles inviting you somewhere before? So maybe inviting you, welcoming you to celebrate him. Maybe we celebrate his birthday. Again, maybe he's a Virgo. It's Virgo season. Or you celebrating your reunion. You're celebrating, you know, there's an apology. There's an offer made. We've got to balance the energy out, right some wrongs here with this justice. Every time I get up to it, I forget. Well, I'll just cut from here. I forget where I was. Yeah, you just don't achieve, you know, greatness as an individual or as a couple by, you know, just sitting in the house for the next 50 years, owning each other. you know. So these relationships are really meant to be interdependent, and that's why you have to, you know, shake off things, or maybe cut out with the Queen of Swords, is her with her sword, cut out things like jealousy and pride and ego, so that we, you know, can reach our highest potential. This came out reversed as well. So all the decks ended up reversed. I've just been flipping them over and showing you what the cards were. Maybe this is in reverse because this represents the planet Mercury in the sign of Gemini most directly, but also potentially Virgo. And so because Mercury is in retrograde and it's backwards, maybe that's why this magician is showing upside down. Also, when a magician is upside down, for me, it can be about things like the evil eye and hexes and just negative energy, you know, that's meant to attack you or maybe your partnerships. So just, you know, make clear and shield your energy as best as you're able. And if you're unable, find somebody who can do it for you. There's a lot of different methodologies to do it. Don't, you know, spend your bank account on it. A lot of us do it for, you know, very reasonable prices. I haven't changed my prices the whole time I've been on. But I'm not pitching or selling myself. So that's why I'm not even going to tell you what I'm doing. What I do. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. If you want to know and you don't know, I have a website. I'm not trying to tell it to you here now. Anyway, the Eight of Wands is about movement. So somebody could be trying to stifle your movement. Maybe they see, okay, they're climbing, he's climbing, she's climbing. You know, they're reaching, they're all the way up. I remember I'm on top. They're getting their wish fulfillment, everything, that all their dreams are coming true. I got to try to stop that because that makes me mad, you know. That's what we're dealing with here in the world. So I think this week what I'll do is I'll put the decks back how they were. This was like this is a Six of Cups. It was in reverse when we ended up. Six of Cups in reverse. There's probably something from your past that you need to deal with and either resolve. You know, well, it's like resolve one way or another. Either we're going to resolve it and we're going to decide to move forward, or we're going to dissolve it so that it can be released and we can be beyond it and, you know, go our separate ways, or however, whatever needs to happen. It's supposed to happen when we finally deal with this thing or, you know, set of things that we've probably been sweeping under the rug for a while. So this too, the Hermit was in reverse, so I'm going to put him back in reverse and put that like that. The Magician was in reverse, but I've left it in reverse, so here. Yesterday, last week, I, you know, like let the cards fall, let the chips fall where they may. This time I'm just going to peel them off the top. So you saw me shuffle, you saw me cut, and we're just going to take the next card. So the card that most directly represents the collective this week is the Nine of Pentacles, also in reverse. Surrounding energy is the Seven of Pentacles, close friends, family members, co-workers, you know, happenings down at your job or whatever it is in your immediate environment, or your closest one-on-one relationships, like seventh house type relationships, is what this card represents. Oh, it's a 7 too. Seventh house, the Seven of Pentacles. So with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse representing us, Seven of Pentacles, the surrounding energy, work and finance, we have the Six of Swords upright. And we'll just go back around because I'm going to pull 6 cards like I always do. So now we'll go back to this deck. Love and relationship, the Three of Pentacles upright. Love and relationship. Oh, physical health. The Seven of Cups. And spiritual health. The Four of Cups. So the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is generally good omen, albeit, you know, that's in reverse. Like reverse cards tend to scare people. It's not one that you need to be afraid of. I mean, it does have a warning though, come with a warning. And that warning is that we have to pay like a lot, no, not a lot. We have to pay at least some attention to, you know, like being disciplined and not just give into pleasure and fun and relaxation this week. So there could be something like I'm the type of person that usually goes. And one day last week in my reading, it has shown that those type of people like me that are constantly going, needed to take a break. And I was watching TV, and I had just said to myself, like, I'm tired for a change. And on the show that I was watching, they said like, it was something like God says, like, it's all right for you to take a nap. Like, and I was like, whoa, you know, or it was like the universe said, it was something like that. Like it was this larger than life being. I think the word they used was God. And I'm like, God said it's all right for me to take a nap. Okay, I'm going to take a nap, you know. And so that day I gave into relaxation. And that's usually what we're encouraged to do. That's often what we're encouraged to do, because it is normally the other way around, that we're so busy and we don't stop to, you know, take care of ourselves or smell the roses and those type of things. This week, it's a little different. It's saying we've been doing those things and we should continue doing those things, but we still also likely have something that we need to pay attention to and work on, you know, that we have to put some sort of effort toward to keep things going. Because like if we leave it alone too long, whatever momentum we had will cease in whatever area it is. It tells us we have a lot to be proud of and stuff too. So like, it's not a time to punish yourself and say, I can't do anything fun. You know, don't take it to either extreme. How about that? This card also talks about, well, at least if in terms of work, it could be talking about you needing to be more methodical and disciplined in your work. So if you're currently unemployed maybe, and you're looking for a job, or you're employed, but you're looking to change positions, then you gotta like really play up your strengths in terms of what it is you're trying to offer or what's in your resume, you know, in terms to get the job. And you want to be like a planner and be really methodical about how you go about it. So this is Pentacles, this is that earth energy, and so you want to behave like an earth sign. Love and relationship, if you're looking for love or, you know, and want to be successful, and or want to be successful in a relationship, you might be in a relationship already. What this card shows up to say is that you can't expect, you know, like this to just happen. Again, there's action required on your part. So while things are good for the most part, because this is a positive card and a good card, action is still required on your part. You still have to pay attention or give some focus to certain aspects or areas of your life. Why don't I pull a card from each deck to see maybe what some of us have to, and you can apply it, because this is a collective reading, of course it's for a lot of people, although, and I've always said, like, I feel like there's like 2 or 3, well, I think I've said 3 or 4 different like templates or timelines that we're all on, and that are playing out all the time. But I got 3 decks here, so we'll look at 3. So for some of us, this what we might have to do is pay attention to some sort of competition or conflict, very possibly with members of our family or something having to do with our job, with the 5 of Wands in reverse. But here's the good part. Again, this is another one of those cards that even when it's in reverse, or maybe particularly when it's in reverse, it's not negative, it's good. This is something that you don't even have to have an actual argument, but you may need to have a conversation, and that conversation is going to actually improve whatever the situation, the conflict is about, if it is about conflict rather than competition. You know, so whether that's with friends, family, or in a one-on-one relationship with somebody, you got some stuff to talk about. Again, maybe you're even pushing things under the rug with the 6 of Cups that we saw reversed before too, which I think is the overall energy on this deck. Yep, it is. Right, the 6 of Cups in reverse is overall energy here. So whatever this thing is that we've been sweeping under the rug, if we finally talk about it, we could get into a heated debate, we could get into an argument, but we don't have to. But if we talk about it, it will, you know, be for the better. Right, this is positive. So for some, that's what it is, or maybe for the collective. So this is the deck I used, you know, overall. And then looks like for a lot of people, it has to do with some sort of conflict or communication that's been poor, that we may want to pay attention to or avoid. Like if there's somebody, you know, you've been having conflict with, and you can avoid talking to them or communicating with them this week, you probably should. Like, it could come out negative if you don't, and you probably don't want it to. Or something that you've been working on for a long time, since it is something from the past. Again, something could pop up maybe with Mercury Retrograde, and it's annoying. You know, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but it's like an annoyance that you have to deal with the Page of Swords in reverse. Can have to do with an actual person, and perhaps specifically an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And from this deck, very positive again. The 6 of Pentacles upright. So what you may need to pay attention to is balance, perhaps, in your relationships, give and take, equity, equality, maybe in some sort of situation that you're dealing with. This could be about gifts, whether you're the person that's giving them or you're receiving them, or being open and able to do both, having your heart open so you can maybe come into agreement with some other person. This is about like blessings and abundance and things that's coming in that we don't have to work for necessarily. So you want to be on top of what's going on in your life, but the universe with this card very possibly stepping in to also help you, especially if you do your part. Like I said, you do your part, I'm definitely going to meet you at least halfway, is what the universe tends to say, right? So that's that. And I think I talked about all the areas. The 9 that our original card, the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, was about. So we're going to move on to the surrounding energy and the 7 of Pentacles upright. And 7 of Pentacles is a card about return on investment. This could be something in you. So if it's in your surrounding energy, it could have to do with somebody else that's close to you, that has maybe been working on something for a long time or trying to manifest something for a long time. Sometimes we're fighting forever, like these, I always talk about things like workman's comp and Social Security and VA benefits, disability. Like these are things that can go on and on and on for years, and you've put your effort into them. So something like that you could finally be hearing about, right? Gifts from the universe. It's working out. When you receive paperwork and you got to deal with it and you got to respond, that's annoying, but again, this is still for the best. It's for the positive. So it could be something like that. Somebody close to you, maybe spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, child, parent. Something's coming through, and it's because you're finally being rewarded for it. Or it could be some other manifestation, like that you've been working on for, and it's for a while. So you've been waiting for it to grow, watching it grow. And again, it's going to be somebody that's around you in your surrounding energy, or maybe it has something to do with your own like employment, or a business that you've been trying to grow or something. You could definitely be seeing the fruits of your labor, as they say, this week, or having somebody that's very close to you see the fruits of theirs, and that could be beneficial to you. Like my kids get money, it doesn't go in my pocket. That's their money, but it still helps me because they don't have to say, "Hey, Mom, can you help me out?" You know what I mean? So it could be something like that also. In work, this is a positive card. Again, you're seeing the results of your labor. So you put in the effort. People are noticing. Your boss is saying, "Hey, Bob, good job on that last thing," or whatever. Or, look for some extra money in your paycheck this week. Or I'm giving you the overtime because you deserve it. These other people slacking off. Whatever. Something is paying off. Or again, if you're looking for a job, you've been looking for a job, this could be the week where that pays off too. Or somebody surrounding you. In love and relationship, it's pretty much the same thing. Actually has nothing to do with the placement. That this just happens to be my placement for the surrounding energy, but the card itself in love and relationship is usually about the other person. So it's like a person that that you're dealing with, or that you have your eyes on, or your heart on, or both, that things are going well for them. If you're not in a committed relationship, you need to be open to other possibilities, maybe, like because things are going well for them. We don't know what all that entails, but they're happy right now. Like their manifestations are coming in. So one of those manifestations may be you, but it may not. And so you just want to be happy for them. If this is not your week, to go off into the sunset. You know what? Let's look. Let's see what he might be working on. So somebody maybe, they're working on something, some sort of opportunity, that's some sort of new beginning for them, or maybe embarking upon some sort of spiritual path, or combination of both, that's going to require them to be somewhat independent of you, which is kind of like what I was talking about, or trying to talk about as I was shuffling the cards and stuff. Like, so even if we are in a relationship, or we end up in a relationship, I have my heart set on you, my eyes set on you, and things are going well for you, you need to be able to have things go well for you, or you need to be able to be able to have your own experiences separate and apart from me to reach your highest potential. The idea is that we all reach our highest potential as individuals, right? We achieve greatness. It's not just for one of us, or again for God's plan wasn't just for us to become couples and, sit around and doing nothing. So maybe that's why you potentially, I'm not saying you will have to, but potentially may feel the need to sort of fall back or pull back from your partner of love interest, if that's what this has to do with, if that's who this person in your surrounding energy is, that this Seven of Pentacles is represented by, because the Fool could mean that they, again, are embarking on something new for them, inspirational for them, spiritual for them, potentially, and they need to sort of focus and pay attention to that. What else could it be about? Some sort of opportunity that maybe somebody needs to weigh the pros and cons, or in this case, maybe you can help them. Maybe you can help them to see that there's an opportunity in front of them that they should consider. All right, this is about somebody in your surrounding energy. Or death. Now, what's interesting is we have a Four of Cups upright here in the spiritual placement also. So it could these could be, at least the Fool and this Four of Cups could go hand in hand. And, the universe could be trying to guide someone in your surrounding energy somewhere, and they could sort of be, closed-minded or closed to it. And maybe it's something they have to figure out on their own because it is the Fool. But there's also a potential for you to, especially if you're more aware of these kind of things, and you have a higher awareness, a higher vibration in them, then maybe you can sort of, give them a little advice on at least to the extent that you suggest that they consider checking out what's in these cups. And then we have Death. Major Arcana card Death represents the sign of Scorpio. It is about transformation, transition, the end of a cycle, the end of things as we knew them, which makes sense because, again, we have the Fool here too. We have a new beginning. So an end of one cycle, a beginning of another one, and it may be something on which they need to embark alone, potentially. Moving on to the Six of Swords in the position of work and finance. You may be deciding, or you may have already made the decision, if you're not in the process, to leave your job. Leave some sort of type of work that no longer works for you. Or again, maybe you want to, not only want to, but maybe you are in the process of transferring, if it has to do with work, because I could see that coming out of these cards too. So maybe you're going to remain with the same company, but you're transferring to another location, or you're being promoted, so you're moving into another department. It could be that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be movement to the other side of the world. It could be movement in the same building. It could be upward mobility, that kind of movement within the corporation. But for some of us, this could be about deciding that we're ready to change the type of work we do altogether, maybe change our place of work altogether. It just no longer works for us. The idea with the card is to trust that the universe is taking us to where we want to be. So that may be tied to this Fool and this Death as well as the Four of Cups too. The opportunity is coming up. Consider it. You want to start this new beginning. You feel a little uncomfortable about the new beginning. Don't. About the ending of where you are. Don't. The universe is taking you where you need to be. Aside from that, the Six of Swords is about movement and potentially travel, like in a more general sense. So you could be traveling for work, some of us, or maybe we're taking a break from work this week, and we're taking like a vacation, or to do some traveling that way, or other potential meanings for this card in this placement. Whatever the situation, it's a good thing. I can pull cards on this too. It's the Seven of Wands. So this is about defending our beliefs and our decisions, protecting ourselves. So if somebody if you make a decision, you might want to put your foot down. Like if somebody's trying to talk you out of what you're doing, don't let them. And you decide that that's what you want to do, is change jobs. Yes, the Knight of Wands is also about, the Six of Swords on its own was already a positive thing, and if the universe or God is moving you into another area, it's a better area. This is improvement. And it goes towards possibly your overall higher purpose and all of that. So maybe you're being moved to, maybe you're single and you're being moved to, I don't know, another state, and in that other state you're going to meet the person that you want to be with, or or that being in that new state is, and free from the influences of some other people that were in the other state where you were. Now you're alone and you can just think for yourself, or you are thinking for yourself. These people are not in your ear anymore. That may allow you to say, hey, I want to restart that relationship with somebody else that's from even another state, because the Knight of Wands is about travel. Maybe they can travel here and move me, and meet me. Maybe they can, move with me and follow my, whatever it is, all kinds of potential. But this is another card of movement. The Knight of Wands is a card of career. It's a card of travel, and it's a card of opportunity, and it's a card of passion, so it's doing something you love in terms of your work and being successful, and you're on fire. think I'm on fire here. And lastly, we got the Hangman. So this is also about letting something go. It's another very spiritual card, but it could be letting something go so that you can get something better. And, it's about change, sometimes being difficult, and sometimes being resistant to change and being hesitant to change and to allow things to move. But once we think about it and look at it from another perspective, coming to the realization that, what, this is for the best. This is a better idea for me. And then we go ahead and do it. All right, so 3 of Pentacles in the position of love and relationship. And this is another really positive card, really good omen. This 3 of Pentacles in the position of love and relationship. And the easiest message that comes with it is maybe you met somebody in your work or through your work, or maybe like what I was just saying, that crazy scenario, maybe because your work sends you somewhere, you end up meeting somebody that you can have a relationship with, potentially. But if you already know someone that you are interested in, then this card tells that they see you in a really positive light, okay? And they see you as somebody who has the qualities that they're looking for in a mate. It's very possible that love hasn't quite developed or flourished yet. But we have the makings for it. We have like the pinnings for it, because they see you as somebody with whom it could happen. And there's a need for patience. I mean, threes are about patience in general. Like you think about the 3 of Wands, right? It's this guy standing on a dock waiting for his ships to come in. He has to wait, right? They're not going to just instantly pop up at the shore. He has to wait for them to come in. And this is a similar thing. The 3s are about creation and co-creation and collaboration and growth, expansion. And so those things all take time. So it's about allowing time, and it's probably joined for many of us, it's probably connected to this energy of the placement and surrounding energy, where I said we may have to allow the person some time. They may have to do some of this on their own. And so maybe there's something going on with that. Like this person you have your eye on, they have their eye on you, or you have your heart set on them, they have their heart set on you. But your relationship, or the love itself hasn't necessarily flourished yet. You don't feel it all around you yet, because it's going to take time to grow, because we take time as individuals to grow, and there could be a situation that's going on here, whether it's in our lives or in their lives or both, where we both have some growth and some movement and some like unfinished business and things that are cycles that are ending and closing. And when that does, then we'll be able to more focus on each other. But right now we can start small, maybe. We can start with, maybe dating. We can start with a conversation of, I'm not ready for an exclusive relationship yet, a committed relationship, but I do like you, and we can do whatever. I mean, there's a bunch of ways that you can address this kind of situation. For those that are already coupled, this can be about a deepening, a slow burn, so to speak. You're working on things together. You're collaborating more. You're more, what's the word? Like we're able to meet in the middle, I can't think of the word, but you're willing to work together toward the common goal, and to grow whatever it is you're working on in terms of a relationship. You decide what your relationship dynamic is. Like I'm not telling people how to live and stuff. So whatever that is, it's going to be slowly growing. For those of us who are single, just single and looking, are open to meeting somebody, you could meet somebody through work, through whatever it is you do for a living. I don't really have any reason to clarify this, but I've been doing it, so might as well pull some other cards. So, you know, for those of us who have sort of been like, oh, woe is me, somebody, you know, ghosted me, somebody left me out in the cold, blah, 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 that person could be coming back, potentially, if you want them back. It could be what this Five of Pentacles means. Somebody that previously left you out in the cold, or gave you that feeling, is returning, and maybe you met them through work. Doesn't have to be, or maybe they're an earth sign, or you're an earth sign, because this is both the pentacles. Or, you know, you had, for whatever reason, you know, whoever left you out in the cold, or whatever left you feeling that way, you're over that feeling. You're over that feeling of lack and, you know, and oh, woe is me, and sulking and whatever, and you're ready to get up and get out there. So this could be about you saying, okay, I'm ready to maybe tell that person that I have an interest in. Maybe let them know that I have an interest in them. Maybe that's what all you're ready to do. Yeah, I have a little crush on you. I hope that we can develop something over time. I'd like to start with friendship or whatever it is, right? That came from this deck, right? Let's try this one. We got an Ace of Pentacles. So whatever it is, could, you know, has the makings for something really beautiful. I feel it, you feel it, and now the universe is co-signing with the Ace of Pentacles also showing up here. New love, new start. And Temperance. This is the kind of energy I was thinking of when I said I can't think of the word of, you know, coming to compromise. Now I got it. You know, yes, compromise, being able to work together, give and take, balance. Major Arcana card Temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius, most traditionally in the tarot. For me, it also represents the sign of Aquarius in my readings, because it's a water bearer on the card. And she is standing in a pool of water. She's standing in the river here. You know, so that's very Aquarian to me. She's got this rainbow shirt on and the triangle. All these are symbols, the triangle and the rainbows, symbols, of course, of LGBTQIA plus community. And so there could be something to that here as well. Maybe the person is bi. We got a 3. Maybe there's 3 people involved. I don't know. But for some there may be something having to do with the LGBTQ plus IA plus community also tied into this, and or an Aquarius or a Sagittarius. That was from this deck, right? Yes. So moving on to physical health and the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups talks about sort of being flighty and all over the place and just having a lot of thoughts and images and ideas about things that maybe could be going on with you, and they may or may not actually be going on with you. You should keep a journal of any kind of actual symptoms you feel or believe you feel. Certainly be open to talking to a doctor about them. But what the card says really is that, I don't want to say this. Although we could feel these things, again, it's a card about that in this placement that's kind of like about being flighty. You know, like you're all over the place, and whatever it is you're feeling health wise you'd probably feel better if you could just get grounded. So if you could just, you know, come down to earth, and maybe the full moon, right? Because this card represents the energy of Pisces for me, big time, and we have the very strong and powerful full moon in Pisces on the 10th, so the day before this reading is. So you're going to have still some residual full moon in Pisces energy. You're going to have Mercury Retrograde. You're going to, you know, there's so many things going on. That could be what's causing you to feel this way. Maybe you just need to get out, you know, if you live in an area that's conducive to going out into nature and in the weather, and like putting your feet in some grass or some sand or some, you know, salt water or something, and just connecting with nature could help you. But let's look and see what else. Yeah, this is about being flighty too. It's the Knight of Swords in reverse. So maybe you're all over the place, like your energy is scattered, you know. And maybe this will be more so, and it's something that occurs with air signs perhaps, or maybe one of the reasons you feel like you're all over the place is because of an air sign, like you're just overthinking something about them. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, someone likened to those traits or attributes here in reverse, to clarify the Seven of Cups and the placement of physical health. We also have the Sun in reverse. So the Sun for me is one of these cards that when it shows up in terms of health, even in reverse, like upright, it's really about like, don't worry about whatever it is you've been going through, even things like cancer, treatments and stuff are successful with the Sun for me. In reverse, again, there may actually be something, but you just might need to just get out into the sun, get out into nature. Or if there's something, it's something, you know, like minor, minute, that can be dealt with. Maybe you want to go to the doctor, but it's not like it's something that can be handled, something that can be dealt with. And lastly, the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, and look, she's doing research. Don't go on WebMD and try to figure out like what's wrong with you and stuff. This is again more air energy or potentially water. So Gemini could be, you know, could be tied with this Knight of Swords, or with the water, it could be tied to the Seven of Cups directly. You know, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and maybe your head just being, you know, everywhere but down to earth. Use your intuition, though. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to signs, synchronicities. The universe is showing you, and again, if you need to actually go to a doctor, then go to a doctor. But don't diagnose yourself at home with your laptop. And lastly, spiritual health and the Four of Cups. So remember, we had a Four of Cups over here too. And I said it could be tied to spirituality, right? So we got this Four of Cups that's in the placement of spirituality. And it does talk about like the kind of like wishful thinking, like I wish this was happening. I wish that was happening. In terms of like, not that it's bad to feel that way, but when we do it in such a way, like we talk like bad spells over ourselves, like we have no opportunity, like, you know, when we wish things as if they cannot be accomplished now, as if we have no opportunity to do them now, or no ability to do them now, like, oh, like too bad my 30th birthday passed. I wish I'd done XYZ before that happened. Now it's like my life's over. It's all downhill from here. Like those, you're talking like negative or speaking like negativity over your own life. That's the kind of wishful thing I'm talking about. Like, oh, poor me. I wish things were different. You know, it just tends to blind us to the present and blind us to or from like the beauty that is when we're so concerned and caught up in what is not, or what's past, what we feel we've missed out on. And here with the Seven of Cups, I was talking about being flighty and having your head like all over the place and overthinking and stuff like that. And that could definitely be what this is. So it's like not only affecting you, your physical health, but your spiritual health, or maybe your spiritual health is what's affecting your physical health and causing you to maybe feel unwell because of what you have going on spiritually here. So this card too, and this placement too, at least this week for us, is also about being grounded and being in the present moment and being grateful for what we have in the now and the present, and what we have and the opportunities that we have now, the things that we're capable of doing right now, and not like worrying about what passed. And some people even think it's a good idea. My older sister does this. She has MS, and maybe that's why she does it. You know, people that have diseases that can be fatal or whatever. She's had it for a very long time, but like, and she's doing well. So I just want to be clear about that. But people that experience these types of things or whatever, sometimes, you know, think about, well, I might not be here that long, even though, again, that has not been the case, and that's not the case with my sister. She's not even in a wheelchair, which is pretty incredible. But, you know, we pray and stuff, the same reason my mother got over her cancer. Anyway, you know, but a lot of these people do plan to not be here. So because she is so thankful for like everything in her life and the fact that she is here, and we do pray, she keeps one of these like gratitude thankful journals or gratitude journals, where she writes down things that she's thankful for. And some of you may want to look into that. I mean, like when this card shows up, it's like in this placement, you know, maybe you want to consciously think of and make a list of like 20 people, things, or situations in your life that you're grateful for right now. Because thinking along these lines can help to elevate your spiritual mindset. And I was talking about that earlier too, right? Increasing our vibration, working on self. And even if we're in a relationship or long to be in a relationship or planning to be in a relationship, allowing for each person to continue to work on self toward reaching their highest potential and highest purpose in life. That is why we're here. Like, what's the meaning of life? I just told it to you. Or it's also 42. What's the meaning of life? 42. But since we've clarified everything else, might as well pull out some further ones for that. So we got the star, which is interesting. I was just talking about the star here in terms of balance and compromise and working together and collaboration and growth. So maybe again coming down to earth, working with other people, putting your feet in the water, like this angel here, right? Or like this angel here. In terms of getting grounded, this is a card of wish fulfillment. So you don't have to just wish negatively, like about stuff in the past that's not going to come true. You can make wishes and reach goals going forward, especially if you remind yourself what it is your goals are and what it is you're thankful for, what it is you're trying to achieve by writing it down or taking some time to even just think about it at all. That may help you, in your manifestation about bringing things to yourself now and for your future and letting the past go. Of course, the star also represents the sign of Aquarius in the tarot most directly. It is about wish fulfillment. It is about success and maybe like you're a star, right? You're a superstar. It is about things like online dating and text and communication and all that too. With this step, we got another 5 of Pentacles. So in reverse. So we have one here, right? Where did we have one? Oh, here. It's in the placement of love and relationship. So I think the spiritual and the physical health are also tied into the love and relationship, which is tied into this surrounding energy, big time. So we got another 5 of Pentacles in reverse again, which is about letting go of those feelings of lack and, oh, woe is me, and, being unsuccessful and deciding to instead go out and be a go-getter. And last but not least, Tower in reverse. Crisis averted, or yes, there is a change, but but such is life. Life is about change. Life is about cycles, beginning, ending, turning, right? It's not the end of the world. It's not like the worst possible thing that could have happened. It is a change. We might not even notice it as a change. It may be so slight in terms of how it affects our life, but in terms of being noticeable and how it affects our life. Like, it doesn't turn our life upside down, but something no longer exists in the same way as it did before. That's called the past, right? And we're going to leave it behind us, and we're going to move forward toward the future. As a matter of fact, the star is Major Arcana card 17, and this is a Major Arcana card 16. So the star is a higher number and trumps this one anyway. So this tower that's coming in, this change is coming in, very, very positive, likely, and likely something that we asked for, something that we manifested. So you got to be careful what you wish for, right? Don't wish for the negative things, because you can manifest that too. You want to make sure that when you're making these wishes, making these manifestations, it's for you got positive thoughts in your life, in your life. Yes, in your life. But I meant to say positive thoughts in your mind, and you're thinking about the present, and you're thinking about the future, and moving ahead. Yes. Now we're gonna look at some oracle. So we shuffled these. We know that we're all dealing with this ego situation this week. We'll pull a card for the collective. I'll do the next upright one. It is this. And this is regret. So we may all have something that we're regretting, some sense of loss, that we can move beyond this week. Remorse, life regrets, loss. Start making empowered choices. This is the week where we get to do that. We're presented with something, an opportunity to make an empowered choice. Those who are in separation, your card is Material World. And I was seeing a lot of numbers that talk about the material world this week. I'm into numerology and things like that, and the need to like release that and let it go and not worry so much about that, and maybe focusing on other things in our lives, like our emotions and our spiritual health and our relationships and all that kind of stuff. But this is about being a go-getter too, and sort of like making your mark in the world and on the world. Money, career, status. So it could be tied into this too. Our promotions, our recognition, our changing jobs, our starting our own company. Money, career, status, third dimension. Make your mark. Yes, make your mark. And for those who are single, healing. Maybe you're single because of your previous relationship and you got some stuff you're going to deal with this week. Self-care. Right? So taking care of yourself. Time out. Taking a break if you feel like you need one. And being gentle with yourself and your twin. If you can feel their energy, if you know who they are, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes we never even met them, but we can feel this other person. When you take care of yourself, you're, growing yourself. Even that energetically can help your twin on the other side of the world that you've never met before, because we mirror each other. And now we will do the secret messages from the heart. Let's see, one just fell away. I'm so glad we found each other because my life has been so much better ever since. Collective. You fill my life with hope for the future. Yes, the future. That's what we're looking toward. And I'm proud to have you by my side. The couples in separation. Please forgive me for letting you go. I was a fool. He got the fool right here in this placement of surrounding energy. I was a fool, and now I want you back. Can we start over? Ace of Pentacles in the love and relationship pile. Can we start over and have a fresh new beginning? The universe says yes. And singles. Well, wait, there's another one that's just for everybody, I guess, because it's upright already. It says, trust me, I will reach out to you soon. I guess even if you're single, you could be getting a call, you could be meeting somebody, getting some sort of contact soon. And it may be from that very special someone. You're like your soulmate, as they say. We won't look at that one. How many of these are exposed? All right, we'll read this one for everybody too. I've shed tears over us. You were the only one who could break down the wall I put up around my heart. This is sideways. I'm not going to look at it. This is in reverse. I'm not going to look at it. All right, this is for the singles. I want to feel the warmth of your body next to mine. Are you ready for a night of passion? Oh, wow. Okay. And that's what I have for you this week. There's nothing really going on even on the planetary calendar. I didn't look at the theological calendars, but I looked at the planetary calendar and there's nothing. So on the 10th is the full moon, and this reading starts on the 11th and it goes through the 17th, and on the 17th is the last quarter moon in Gemini, and in between there's nothing on the planetary calendar. So I will leave it there and bid you adieu. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I appreciate it. If you do want services from me, again, I have a website, Queenofswordsthelightworker.com. I probably have said that 5 times max the entire time I've been on this page. That's like on YouTube, which is about 6-7 years now. That's not what I'm here to do, is like push stuff that I'm selling, but the services are available for those in need of them, and I am very good at it. You can read the reviews as well. Check out the reviews on my page on Facebook, Divine Light Cleanse. It's a 5-star service. So if you need help with that energy healing, but I also do readings and things, of course, too, for those who need that. Thanks again. Namaste.